I am excited to say to everyone, Roush Performance Esports is back, and we are going racing. Coming at you live from the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. We are dipping our toe into the pond that we've never swam in before, folks. Tonight, we are going Rallycross racing, sliding around in the dirt and asphalt, standing starts, and what's called a joker lap thrown into every race. It's bound to be non-stop sim racing action right here on Roush Performance Esports. Before we get into any of that racing action tonight, though, I need to bring in my co-host, the voice of Roush Performance, Trevor Wright. Trevor, how are you doing, bud? And are you back? Happy to be back here?
Joe, I'm going to be really honest with you. I had to completely dust off all my equipment. And I don't know if you can see in the shot, but it looks like this thing's collected some dust. So yes, it's been some time since we've got on here and had some fun. But what better way to come off strong with Rallycross racing, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, well, and we're going to kick it right into the action. And Trevor, since you are so pumped and this track is literally in your backyard, why don't you take us through tonight's venue?
Absolutely, yes. It's about 30 minutes north from actually where I'm sitting right now. Charlotte Rallycross. This configuration is absolutely wild. So we're just a little over 3/4 mile, 0.83 miles. It's located right in the heart of this is the race capital of the entire world, Concord, North Carolina. And the cool part about this is the surface has a little bit of a mix-up. You're going to see a little bit of asphalt, 41% to be exact. Thanks, Joey, for the notes. And 59% dirt, so there's going to be tons of sliding around, tons of dirt roosting. I'm ready to have a good time.
It'll be a really fun time around this Rallycross track, and talk a little bit more about the format that you're going to see tonight. It's a little bit different than what you've seen here on the channel before. This is heat racing. We're going to have 4 heats of 4 drivers each. Each of those heats is going to be 6 laps long. And from those heats, the top 2 are going to advance. That will leave us a last chance qualifier. The top four finishers of that last chance qualifier will also advance to the feature, giving us 12 drivers total and 8 laps to settle it out on who is going to be the Roush Rallycross champion here. And I actually want to bring in another voice here that is able to join us very quickly. He just hopped in the booth. Jack Roush Jr., you got a copy on me, bud?
I am here. I'm excited, man. It's going to be a great night of racing. Really looking forward to this. Joey, we've been talking about this for a long time, and tonight we're actually doing it.
We have been talking about Rallycross for a while. It's kind of been on the docket for months, and we just haven't been able to squeeze it in. And I think this is a great way to kind of kick it back going and get the Roush Performance Esports channel ramped up again.
Absolutely. You guys, stay tuned for this. It's going to be a great night of racing. We got some amazing drivers here tonight. I was looking at the list, and man, it is going to be intense. I am going to enjoy this myself.
And not only tonight do we have the racing action, but I know Jack will probably announce it a little bit later, but we have a ton more esports coming up, not only in 2023, but also all of 2024. So it's something to look forward to, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is just the beginning, guys. We're spinning this stuff up. We're committed to it, and trust me, what we got cooking is something to look out for.
Well, Jack, thank you very much. You can stick around for as long as you can, but we are so happy to be back here on the esports channel. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for all the competitors, and thank you guys for watching too. This is going to be fun.
Well, Jack Roush Jr. is going to stick around for us at least for another few minutes, maybe get some of the racing action going on. But Trevor, we do have some important partners that we want to mention here tonight.
We absolutely do. It's first off, looking at the driving force. I mean, there's a lot of big names out there, and a lot that are actually involved with our other partners. Looking at Connor Berry, General Tire driver over there on the Champ off-road side, which is pretty cool to see that. But one big thing is we talk about these partners, guys, and it's not just sponsors that are coming on for races. These are people that we've developed a long partnership with, an awesome partnership. But General Tire, you know, man, these guys are absolutely awesome. But one quick thing, guys, as fall wraps up and you guys are hitting the trails and you're getting out there on those aggressive grabber tires that General Tire has to offer, if you want to get into the trail and get out of the trail, make sure you're on a General Tire. And also, you guys can save some money, $100 rebate. So with the purchase of 4 qualifying truck or SUV General Tires from now till Halloween, you'll get $100 right back in your pocket. So that means that you can buy more pumpkin spice lattes, those funny looking sweater turtlenecks, I don't know, whatever it is. But also we have another awesome partner, which I've been able to experience firsthand and take some friends and other partners over there, Skip Barber Racing School. Go experience Skip Barber. That's all I'm going to say. These guys, from off-road events to corporate events, and you can get behind the wheel of a 750 horsepower Roush H3 Mustang. So why not go?
Skip Barber Racing School can really transform and hone in your skills as a real racing car driver. And I know they're doing a ton of sim racing as well. And we do have our grid for the first heat for tonight. It's going to be Connor Parisi on your pole position, Joey Masevich lined up next to him, Connor Berry in the 3rd place position, and Rolly Filgaris in the 4th place spot. And something to remember for these heats, the top 2 drivers advance. So if you're not in the top 2, you'll have to go to the LCQ and try to race your way into that feature. And something to note here, Trevor, look at them. They're lined up on the start-finish line here at Charlotte. It's an asphalt standing start, and it's getting ready to go here in about 10 seconds.
That is absolutely wild, just to think that all-wheel drive vehicle, asphalt, straight launch. I don't think racing can get any more exciting than that.
Well, we're about to get the revs coming up, and we're going to get heat number 1 underway here shortly for the Roush Rallycross event right here on Roush Performance Esports. Looks
I'm
like
going to be
grid
pulling
timer is officially up, and we have green flag racing here, Trevor.
Man, I was really hoping Rolly would get that that jump there with the big blue oval on the front. We might need to throw him some more Roush Performance parts to get a little bit better start, but off to some awesome racing here.
Not surprised to see Connor Parisi get that whole shot. He is a Nitro Circus esports driver, so he is very fluent in these Rallycross cars. And then you got Joey Masevich there in that red number 64, one of the drivers from Makoni Setup Shop, the official setup shop of eNASCAR. Then in the third place position, you got Connor Berry. Trevor, you're familiar with Connor Berry. He's a previous Roush esports champion.
Yeah, not only is he esports champion, like I said, he's a partner of our friends over at General Tire and is a partner on the Roush end as well. Man, we have seen Connor race in real life, and this kid is absolutely amazing. I'm a huge fan of Connor, and I will continue to root for this guy.
Well, and Jack, since we still have you in here, I know that you've met Connor as well up in Crandon, I believe, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Connor is definitely a great talent, both in real life as well as esports. Man, this field is going to be impressive. You're going to see some.
Well, and also something to watch out for. I saw that Joey Masevich, our third place car, actually took the Joker lap already. So he has taken that lap. And something to note, Trevor, you went over the track map earlier. The Joker lap here at Charlotte, it actually adds the lap time to it. It's the extension rather than the shortcut.
Yeah, which is absolutely wild. I mean, and to look at the position of it, I actually just watched Rolly go into the Joker as well, and I feel like he wasn't really sure if he was in the Joker or not. There was hard braking, really wasn't sure. But yeah, guys, and you don't want to hiccup here because you're already adding almost a little over 2.5 seconds at 2.65 seconds just to go through the Joker lap. And you must go through that Joker lap one time per session.
You're right. Once per race, you're going to have to do it. And you're right, Trevor. It can kind of throw them for a loop. That's literally why it's called the Joker lap. It's going to put you in other track position out there. But also think about it. You're usually practicing the regular track, turning laps when you're doing the open practice. You're not necessarily practicing the Joker lap every single time. So it can throw those drivers for a loop.
Absolutely, but I know one that's not getting thrown for a loop, and that's Connor here, 11 car out front as he just hit asphalt. I don't know. So does it show? I'm just trying to look.
That's called the commentator's curse, by the way, Trevor.
Yeah, I know, and I know of that very well. I feel like I have it doubled down because every time I switch to someone, it typically goes wrong. But Connor here, I mean, just looks like he's running his own race here.
Yeah, and I know that things have spread out just a little bit because some of the drivers have taken that Joker lap. Some of them haven't, but it is still Connor Parisi, your leader. That is the Nitro Circus esports driver here, and we're getting the shots. I'm so happy, Trevor. You and I, we both love being on screen, right? Show our pretty faces on the camera. But I'm so happy to get all of these drivers also getting in on the action. It's so cool, especially with Connor Parisi here. You get to see the virtual reality that he's using.
Which is super cool. It's so funny that you said that, Joey, because I actually looked to look at myself on screen as you're talking about how beautiful we were. And I see here's Connor with his VR on. And to be really honest with you, I'm like, what is on his face? And then I realized, yes, VR. That is an absolute wild experience. And let me tell you, if you have the ability to do so, give it a shot. It just takes this iRacing to a whole new experience.
Well, we're already on the final lap of heat number 1, watching our leader, Connor Parisi, round through the final couple corners. He is deciding to take the Joker lap as his final lap here. We'll see where Joey Masevich or Connor Berry comes out in comparison, but it is a clean win for the number 11 of Connor Parisi here in heat number 1. Looks like Connor Berry will actually come across the line in second place. So those are your two drivers that will advance, both Connors, and then Joey Masevich going to finish third. And here's Rolly rounding out the 4-car heat.
Man, that was now I'm just curious to see how these Connors are going to stack up against the next grid here. I mean, obviously we saw him kind of run his own race there, but there's some big names here at this race that I'm curious, once you start to mix those guys up, what's really going to happen here? But also, I think it was kind of ballsy to hit up the last lap on Joker. I don't know. I'm more of the driver that I got to get that out of the way at the beginning.
You know, it's interesting. I think that's a great question. Strategically, it seems like if you can do it by yourself without getting tangled up with someone else, and if yellow is not a factor, I don't know. You know, that's the time that you want to take that Joker, is when you have the best chance without it biting you with a yellow later.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I agree. I think it's all coming down to strategy, and if you're out front with that track position, why would you put yourself back in the mess there? But we already have heat number 2 ready, gridded up. Colin Weatherholt is going to be your pole sitter in the number 21 car. Josh Fox also on the front row. Jeff McConey in there as well, and Peachy Campos. So always good to see Peachy out here. Jack, since you're still here, you can talk about Peachy a little bit. We got a minute to the green flag and kind of how influential he's been with Rolly Filgaris as well.
Oh, Peachy and Rolly, I mean, those guys are family. They've raced with my dad's road racing team back in the day, before my dad was even in NASCAR. And Rolly raced on my road racing team. They've been a huge part of our esports stuff. Just really happy to see them here today. Yeah, it's just awesome seeing them do so well with everything that they've done.
Well, and they always come out to our Roush Performance esports events. It doesn't matter if it's off-road, Rallycross here, which is a brand new one, road racing, which they are typically, that's what their history is in, but they're always participating with us out here on Roush Performance esports. And it looks like the grid timer is officially up here, so we are going to be starting heat number 2 in a matter of a few seconds here. And Trevor, you saw that a car got launched out there with the hole shot, was able to run away with that heat number 1 win as we're about to take the green flag. Do you think we're going to see the same from the hole shot, or do you think we're going to see a little bit of a messier heat number 2?
I got my money on Peachy here. I think he's going to get a hard start, and there it is. Hey, well, man. Well, that completely ruined my point. But anyways, no, yes. Oh, come on, Peachy, hang on there.
Well,
right.
And unfortunately, we're going to have to refrain from letting Trevor pick any more picks, because he's had the commentator curse twice, with Connor Berry first into the wall as soon as you mentioned his name. And then you mentioned Peachy Campos, and as soon as you mentioned him, he lurched forward on the starting grid, which gave him the black flag, the false start on it. So looks like race control has at least cleared it so he can keep racing. But check this out. Colin Weatherholt applying the pressure to Josh Fox here, Trevor.
Yeah, no, I am digging this. And, you know, it just turns into a whole nother level of racing as soon as they get on dirt. There's something about bumper to bumper on dirt that just gets me going, and super wild, especially that part of the track. I love how you're coming in as fast as you can, a transition to asphalt. There's a lot of room for error going from one surface to the other. But also another thing, guys, I don't know how these drivers, I guess we get the quality drivers here, but these guys are absolutely launching over that jump, keeping things straight and narrow. Me, I'm coming over that thing sideways like a big old whip on a dirt bike, so I don't think I'm doing something right there.
Oh, and you see Josh Fox just tag the inside wall there, which really pushes out the car. But I think the story here is really Colin Weatherholt. And to tell you guys about Colin Weatherholt, he actually paints cars for Ed Carpenter Racing. Those are the IndyCar teams in real life. They're one of the only teams, I think, in fact, they are the only team that still paints their race cars instead of using vinyl. So Colin Weatherholt, not only is he a sim racer taking it to the pros right now, but he's also involved in real-world motorsports in the IndyCar paddock, which is pretty cool.
I mean, looking at that livery, that's a pretty clean livery that he's got on there. So I could see that it's kind of gone from real world to esports. But one thing I was looking at, Joey, Colin is crazy quick. I think he ran a 45, or was it a 40.5 or 40.7? Here it is, fastest lap. That's extremely quick compared to our last session.
You got to watch out for him. He's going to be fast no matter what. And actually, you look at the lineup, Colin does this kind of as a side hobby. He is not a quote-unquote pro, and he is just taking it to these off-road pros as we get shots of the 03 car. This is Jeff McConey. Jeff McConey, he's the owner of McConey Setup Shop. You see that on the rig there. Trevor, he he's had some pretty big news in the last few months. McConey Setup Shop has become the official setup shop of eNASCAR, as unfortunately,
Oh my gosh. Here you go, Joe.
turns him.
There goes that commentator's curse, as Joey was full blown. That one's sorry, Jeff. That one's on Joey. But yeah, no, the guys over at the McConey Setup Shop, I feel like from my experience with them, they just make racing fun. You're competitive, even if you're not as great of a driver. They get you a setup that is absolutely dialed in, and you can stay up with these fast guys. So I'm all for that. I need all the help I can get.
Hey guys, it just occurred to me that the next time I race in one of these, I'm going to change my name to No Name, so no one talks about me.
Well, now we know.
Well, we'll just start referring to you as car numbers, and Jack, you as well as I know in the real racing world, that's what we all refer to anyways.
Right.
Oh man, Peachy with that front end damage on that Ford Fiesta. Man, it looks like he really got into Jeff. I don't know if something occurred before that incident, but that looks pretty rough.
I'm happy to have the car on the screen for a little bit. I think a lot of these pros are going to be choosing the Subaru tonight. It's a fast car, but we do have a few Fords out here, and Peachy is in one of them. Well, looks like Colin Weatherholt is going to be rounding out of the final couple turns here. He didn't grab the whole shot per se, but was able to drive around Josh Fox on lap number 2, claim the heat win of heat number 2. So Colin Weatherholt and Josh Fox will advance to the feature. Unfortunately, Peachy Campos right here in the green Ford, as well as Jeff McConey, will have to settle for that last chance qualifier, race it out there to try to make it into the feature here, Trevor.
Man, with a 40.1, that is absolutely cooking. He's definitely found the fast part of the track. But like I said, I can't wait to see these guys come together and go for some blood here on the final race.
Looks like we will get everything cleaned up out there on the racetrack, get the session advanced, and have our results officially on the screen. Like I said, it was Colin Weatherholt that won that one, Josh Fox in second place, Peachy Campos in third, Jeffrey McConey from McConey Setup Shop finishing in the fourth place position. And Trevor, just to let everybody know one more time here, we got 4 heats. We're halfway through those. We've done 2. We got 2 more heats left. After the 4 heats, we have a last chance qualifier. After the last chance qualifier, we go into the feature. And what's the coolest part about the feature, we're no longer putting the 4 cars on the track. We're going to have 12 rally cars on this Charlotte Motor Speedway Rallycross track. So it is going to be super busy out there. And actually, we're going to get going. Keenan Cusin, our pole sitter for Heat 3. Trent Brown in second. Chris Papa in third. Jacob Raffis in fourth. And we are already green flag racing for Heat number 3. Looks like Keenan Cusin got the whole shot advantage. It's actually, I'm sorry, Jacob Raffis with Keenan Cusin chasing him.
Man, Jacob got an absolute crazy launch out of there. And good thing that you were still talking, because I was going to be pulling for Jacob. Wink, wink. But no, he got the whole shot here.
Well, and look at this battle for third place. Trent Brown in that number 37 right on the back end of Keenan Cusin. So going to have to watch out. And then also have Chris Papa there in the fourth place, the caboose on the train. But Jack, I'm not sure if you're watching this through the live stream or not, but this is the first time that we've had all 4 cars. Oh, I'm sorry, Jack is gone. Well, Trevor, check out the camera we got. This is the head cam from Chris
Joe.
Papa.
Hey, I'm all for this, riding along this Ford Fiesta. This is absolutely insane. So, holy cow, look at this. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. What? This is crazy.
And now to jump in here, I'm so happy Ryan did this. This is the full screenshot. This is the second time that Chris Papa has brought this to the Roush Performance Esports channel. He did it in the off-road series, and what he's got is his webcam on top of a baseball hat. So it's sitting basically on the flat brim, looking at his triple monitor setup. So he is streaming what he is seeing through his sim rig.
I'm going to be super honest with you, Joey. I kept looking down at that screen going, is this actual footage that we somehow embedded in? That looked so ridiculously real. I don't know what kind of graphics computer that guy's got, but I love it. And I love that he's taking this forward and bringing it up in the position here. But I think these two Ford guys, we got Trent Brown and Chris. These guys need to hook up and go. Come on.
Oh, Trent out into the barrels there and then loses it. So unfortunate for Tacos Trent as Keenan Cusin sneaks away that second place position. I do want to mention Trent Brown here real fast if we can, because Trent is a former Roush engineer. He built a bunch of motors for the race program and the sports car racing program from Bimmer World and the Grand Am stuff back in the day. And he's an avid sim racer. He's up there in Michigan. He's actually a teammate of Colin Weatherholt, who we saw just claim the previous heat win. So yeah, shout out to Tacos Trent and his profile picture of him in his hot air balloon.
Is that what that is? I couldn't really figure out what was happening there, but that is awesome. But hey, yeah, shout out to you, Trent, fellow Roush employee, and just threw down a 40.996, which I believe is the fastest time of the night. So keep that Ford up there. Attaboy.
He's doing a good job as we jump on board Keenan Cusin, also known as Aerotech. If you guys are familiar with Twitch, go on over to Twitch once we're done, of course, and go check out his channel. His name is Aerotech. He does a ton of sim racing streaming, whether it's iRacing. I saw him playing F-Zero the other day. You remember the old F-Zero game, Trevor?
Oh, yeah. Man, look at his setup. Gloves and all.
Sure, because Keenan loves chaos. He's battling side by side right now. Let's actually bring in Keenan Cusin because he's in one of the chats. And Keenan, you're live on the broadcast channel right now as you're battling it out. How's it going out there, bud?
Get out of the way, Jacob!
Man, last lap.
Off in front. I'm gonna hit him.
Oh.
It's pretty nuts, man. I have a lot of respect for a lot of these ladies and gentlemen who do this as a world championship driver, but I think the playing field's been a little bit even tonight. So just being able to keep him in check here has been fun. He's definitely not taking it seriously. He's throwing every corner sideways in front of me here. He's trying to give me some hope. I'm going.
Go for it.
I got scared.
I want to hear you scream.
I saw you playing F-Zero the other day. Do one of the spin moves.
I got it. No worries.
All right, Keenan,
shit.
Look out there, Keenan, as he slides it. And as he slides it through, and Keenan actually knows how to drift himself and is actually a drift esports commentator. So that was the final lap as we had Keenan Cusin in the chat there. He finishes in second place. Jacob Raffis is going to claim the win of heat number 3. Chris Papa is going to finish in the third place, and Trent Brown going to finish heat number 3 in the fourth place position. We got just a quick minute break before they get gridded up. Trevor, what did you think about that, bud?
First off, I didn't even know that we were able to actually, I'm like, we're going to go live with them. What do you mean? And if you would have done that, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I would have been screaming. Probably you would have to have the bleep button out, because last lap like that, my heart would have been racing. But that was pretty awesome to jump in there with Keenan and ride along with them. Let's find our next driver to do that too, because I want to be in their ear and hopefully give them some insightful information here, because I think I could. Oh, here we go. Here's another start. Crystal King, one of my absolute favorites. She came over from the off-road side. Oh, no. See, I mentioned
she had.
I'm done.
You got to stop, Trevor.
I'm done. I can't say names anymore, guys. I'm going to have to figure something out.
We had the quick green flag, and unfortunately, she went into turn number 1, and she locked him up hard into turn number 1, found herself in the outside wall. But we're riding on board with Paul Slavonic. Now, Trevor, you know about Paul Slavonic. He has been around Roush Performance Esports since the very, very beginning, participating in our mini series, and then also for a while doing all of our paints that the competitors had available to them.
Man, I feel like a lifelong friend of Paul because, yeah, pre-pandemic, he was the very beginning. He was involved every single race, every single lap, and he is just an absolute amazing person. Always put the hand out there to help us with, yeah, just like you said, paints, anything that needed to be done. Paul was on it, and he's not only an awesome driver, he's an amazing author, writer, where Joey, you know a little bit more about this. I have purchased his book on Amazon. I have not read it. I'm not a good reader, but here it is.
Well, hey,
Legacy Drive.
Good thing is that if you're not a good reader, the book is available as an audiobook as well. So you can go on Amazon, you can go search Legacy Drive. It is available. You can go ahead, download that, listen to it, read it however you feel like it. And then know that he also has the second book coming out. I'm not sure if it's actually out or not, but I know it's coming out. Through I Fall is the second part to the series. So oh, I'm sorry. Though I Fall. See, Paul's going to basically come in here now and
wow.
say,
now we know who.
You can't even read? Come on.
Who can't read. Yeah.
All right. If you want proof, there is the proof that I cannot read right there.
I'm the one saying that. And first off, I'm going to clarify. I know how to read. Me and books just don't get along. My attention span's all over the place, but I will definitely buy it just for at least the support, and it'll look good on my wall. But you guys go read it, or I'll go ahead and check out the audio version. But we did find out Joey can't read. Trevor can read. But here we are, Paul, hanging on with that Ford Fiesta. They're in second place. Who's he following down?
Paul is chasing down Josh Edmondson right now, another Nitro Circus esports driver, and he is rocking the brand new Pimax Crystal headset. I know that this really is a game changer. Trevor, you mentioned the virtual reality before, but not only in the trucks, but the rally cars, the clarity, the dirt, being able to turn your head as you slide these cars around, it can be a huge advantage on iRacing.
I mean, I feel like you can just see it in the way that he's controlling the car, and I'm trying to look at both screens here and see his head position. That's absolutely wild. He just went from, looks like his living room, literally, to the Charlotte Rallycross track. I would love to be able to sit alongside one of those and see what that looks like. But looks like he's having an awesome time. He's got the gloves gripped up, and obviously, guys, the gloves is working because he's currently running now the fastest lap that I've seen at a 40.032 on that last lap here. But man, excited to see that.
Well, and here's the Stig himself, Corey Vervinkt, out on the racetrack. And if we got any issues with what's going on the racetrack, Corey is kind of our punching bag here tonight, Trevor. Corey is heavily involved with iRacing, albeit on the broadcast side of things.
Oh man, then why did we not mention Corey on the start? Because man, it looks like he's done enough of his own damage there, as the front left looks like some heavy damage. But hey, good luck out there, Corey. I root for the broadcasting side. But you know who I also root for is Crystal King. I'm always pulling for Crystal. I know she's been on the off-road side of things, and for whatever reason, it just, I don't know, maybe it's the girl power. I'm just always I'm pulling for you, Crystal. So when you hear this, I always pull for you.
And I always love seeing Crystal King on the camera. Always has the kitty cat back there. I see the kitty cat in the room as well. So the heat number 4 is already checkered flag. It was Josh Edmondson that claimed the win. Paul Slavonic in second place. So those two will advance up to the feature. It will be Corey Vervinkt and Crystal King that will have to trans over to this LCQ. And we are going to get the LCQ gridded up here in just moments. Going to have Joey Masevich, our pole sitter on this one. Peachy Campos alongside Chris Papa in third place. Corey Vervinkt in fourth. Rolly Filgaris will be starting fifth. Jeff McConey in sixth. Trent Brown in seventh. And Christy King will be starting in that eighth and final position. But Trevor, we've been having only 4 cars on the racetrack this whole time. Now we are going to double it. And if you place in inside the top 4, you will advance to the feature.
Well, I will not say any names, but I do love seeing this many cars out there, and I hope it's absolute chaos into this first corner. That's what I am here for, guys. I am here for the sliding, the banging, everything going on. And I will not say who I'm pulling for here, but if you could guess, it's the one with the square R on the hood.
This is going to be chaos, definitely. You said you want chaos. Well, we're gonna get it, because look at this. We're lined up 3 rows, pretty much side by side, as long as nobody jumps the start. I would say if I'm in Christy King's position back there in the far left side of the screen, she's in that white, orange, and red car. be careful. I would do an over-under if I was her. It looks like we've got about 30 seconds here till we launch it off, Trevor.
Joe, you know, if it was up to me, I am going pedal to the wall. I'm going to hook up to someone's rear bumper, and they're going to take me through the corner. That's what's going to happen here. But I am staying on that gas, all 4 tires rolling. That is my broadcaster point of view, and that is exactly why I am not gridded up today.
Well, we are about to find out as the grid timer has officially run out. So that means Barney's going to get over to those control panels, see what buttons he needs to put. Buttons.
Hey. So, bushins. We're just going to keep adding them up. I think, never mind. I was going to say the personality of your mustache, I think, goes a little bit more with me. I think I need to rock a handlebar mustache.
Well, looks like we're about to get the green flag here on the racetrack. The revs are up. Patiently waiting, and the launch
look at that.
has gone. Looks like a pretty clean launch from that outside row. That's Corey Vervinkt as well as Joey Masevich trying to lead it off into turn number 1, but we got chaos. We got problems in the back. I believe that was Trent Brown turned around.
Peachy, Trent, man, just, and Corey all found the wall, unfortunately, but it looks like everyone else went unscathed. Crystal King was able to pull through it. McConey, Joey leading out here. Man, that was chaos, just like we asked for.
I just feel so bad for Trent Brown. Oh, and actually Joey Masevich just hits the wall pretty hard. That's going to open the door for this car you're riding on board with right now. His boss, Jeff McConey, is there side by side to complete the first lap.
Oh man, what do you do in this situation? Do you give it to the boss, or do you give up the position and kind of play protector?
It's funny you say that because we have Chris Buescher on the channel quite often. Trevor, maybe next time we have him on here, you can ask him that question.
Oh, that's very true. On that side of things, I think I'd say Brad Keselowski's an awesome boss. Looks like jumping back on screen with Crystal King as she's in the transfer spot. So she is trying to earn herself into that final race here. And I think she is absolutely dialed in. Look at the fierce in her eyes, Cat in the background, rooting her on. Let's see what happens here.
She's going to go for the Joker. Yeah.
Oh, no!
That was 100% on Joey Masevich, the number 64 car. Let's see if Crystal King can get it turned around. I think it's just important to get back going on the racetrack right now. She was in the transfer spot, but now she is behind Peachy Campos, still in the transfer spot. So all she needs to do, I feel, is keep it clean, keep it in that 4th place, and she'll be okay, Trevor.
You know, and with Joey obviously causing that, he's about 3 seconds behind. Even if he does catch her, man, maybe push comes to shove, he's going to give her the spot with, I don't know, that was poorly executed, come out back on track. And it's super tight in the Joker. I mean, I guess maybe there's not really anywhere to go.
It's extremely unfortunate. Yes, it was a poor rejoin, but we're not here to point fingers at anybody at the Roush Performance Esports channel. But Joey Masevich, I know you well. Don't do that again.
There you go. It looks like Trent Brown, unfortunately, went to the pits on quick repair. He looks like he's going to be there for a little while. But back to Crystal. Here she is in the 4th spot. As we said, the transfer spot. Coming up here on, who is she? Is this Rolly?
This is underneath Peachy.
Peachy, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I believe right here. And Peachy is in the 3rd place position. So this is a battle on the racetrack for the 3rd place position. If Crystal King can get up into that 3rd, it just helps her that little bit because you see what's lurking right behind. Joey Masevich is coming up to try to take it.
Yeah, you know, that thing about giving the spot from Joey, I don't see that. He is hard charging at Crystal, wants to take away that spot, which completely understand. We're here to race. But
While we still have them in the session here, I do want to give one more shout out to Corey Vervinkt back here in the 6th place position. He has been racing along, and Corey does a ton of outside racing as Crystal King sneaks up the inside of Peachy Campos, take away that 3rd place position. Now it's going to put him vulnerable to Joey Masevich trying to hunt him down. But I just want to say thank you to Corey for coming out and racing. You know, it's not often that we get to have iRacing come and participate in this stuff. And Corey goes out there and does a lot of different racing leagues, primarily more open wheel and higher downforce stuff. So it's good to see him out here sliding around the dirt in the number 12 Stig machine.
That is awesome. No, that is super cool to have these guys out here and involved. But let me just tell you, back to this three-way racing with Crystal King leading the way. Man, she is putting some distance on there with a beautiful inside pass on that last lap. I don't think that she is going to back down here. And Joey, man, he's putting that Makoni setup to the ground, huh?
Yeah, he was trying to hunt
the metal.
Yeah, trying to hunt down this green Focus of Peachy Campos. That is your 4th place position. The reason why we're so focused on this battle is if Joey Masevich in this red car gets around the green Focus, he will advance to that feature race. So it is all coming down to this final transfer spot as they slide through the dirt one more time. 1.5 laps remaining for these drivers.
1.5 laps. They've all taken the Joker lap. So yes, this is just flat out racing. No advantages here or disadvantages on that Joker lap. So
they round through here, connect to the asphalt section. Actually, Joey Masevich has a really nice and tidy line. He's going to be trying to go up and under here in turn number 1. Gets into the concrete wall. That's not going to help the case, but he still gets the inside drive. A little bit of contact over the jump, and they both spin out. Looks like Peachy is going to get going first. A little bit of Kyle Busch there out of Joey Masevich in reverse, huh?
That's what I was going to go a little Talladega Nights. I thought he was just going to continue on with that. But yeah, those guys came up, hooked up over that tabletop there. Talking about Supercross with those whips. That's exactly what it looked like.
It's tough to go over that jump side by side, especially when you're racing like that. And Joey Masevich had to make the move. He had the drive, and nothing that Peachy Campos did wrong there. So what we're going to do is show the results as Peachy Campos crosses the line there in the 4th place position, just barely. Results. Jeff Makoni, your winner of the last chance qualifier. Chris Papa, 2nd place. Crystal King in 3rd. Peachy Campos in 4th. Those 4 drivers will advance to our feature. Unfortunately, we will say goodbye to Joey Masevich, Corey Vervinkt, Rolly Filgaris, Trent Brown. Those 5 drivers will be eliminated, unfortunately. And Trevor, I think we actually have a replay of that start event crash. Wanted to highlight Trent Brown in this one because Trent is the one that gets spun in front of the field.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Such a tough break for Trent there. And that's who I was kind of focused on as we got off the start here. But as you can see, Trent just absolutely ended up at the dumps on this one. Turn around and actually pointing opposite into the Joker. And there he goes. Oh, super tough break there.
And actually, Crystal King got a big part of that as well. So what a tremendous drive from going into a car at the exit of turn number 1 to getting into that 3rd place and transferring into the feature here. Right on board with this one. Trevor, check this out. She's going to have a car perpendicular, pretty much drives right through it.
Let's check it. Hey, I mean, that was technically what I said. Just pedal to the metal, go on through it. I did say hook up to a bumper, but here we are. Look at, she kind of took the approach that you were exactly talking about, is kind of let things happen. Find your line. Still heavy contact. Car spin in front of her. Hey, that is an awesome drive up front from starting first lap like that to a 3rd place finish. I'd say that's pretty solid. Heck yeah, man. I didn't realize that we're going into this, and now we're into the feature here.
Yeah, well, what we're actually going to do is take a really quick break, run through some of our partners real fast. So if you're looking to get some General Tires, if you're looking to shave some lap times, pay attention. General Tire, Skip Barber, that's who you want to talk to.
whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
When I'm not racing, gardening gives me a chance to reflect and get some much-needed peace and quiet. My plants remind me to be patient and that sometimes going slow is okay. But outside the greenhouse, fast is more fun. For me, General Tire delivers.
We are back here on Roush Performance Esports for the Roush Rallycross event at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, Trevor, the drivers are in a warm-up session right now. We've seen 4 heats, we've seen 1 last chance qualifier, and now we are about to put 12 cars on the racetrack all at the same time for 8 laps to find out who is going to be our Roush Rallycross champion.
I'm just going to say this is absolutely insane racing, and it's about to get 10 times worse, I think. 12 times worse, actually. So crazy that I think it deserves a high five. You know what we practice. Wait, hold on. Wait, there it is.
I got it. There we go.
There we go. Awesome. High five, Joe. No, I am super pumped to jump into this feature race. I'll be honest with you. I know we've talked about Rallycross on the Roush Performance Esports page for a long time, but I didn't realize it's this exciting. You know, off-road trucks are absolutely crazy, jump and everything else, but this adds a little bit more technicality to it. I think you gotta be a little bit more of a driver and not just winging it.
Yeah, especially with the track conditions that we are facing. And this is the grid for our Roush Rallycross feature. Connor Parisi in pole position. Colin Weatherholt, second place. Jacob Raffis in third. Josh Edmondson fourth. Connor Berry in fifth. Josh Fox in sixth place. Keenan Hewson starting seventh. Paul Slavonic in eighth. Jeff McConey in ninth. Chris Papa in 10th, Crystal King starting back in 11th place, and PG Campos was the last car to sneak in through the last chance qualifier. And Trevor, we have 1 minute till we get our green flag going. We've added more cars to the racetrack. You think we're going to continue to see chaos, or are we going to get some good, close, clean racing out of these pros up front?
You know, Joe, at putting 12 on this track into that first corner, I don't think, as pro as you are, or as you can be, I just don't see cleanliness happening here. But that's okay. Robin's racing. But the only thing that I'm really hoping is those Ford vehicles headed over to RoushParts.com before this, picked up some parts, because I'm not seeing any on the front row or second row. Come on, guys. Blue oval, Roush guys, let's go. Get to the front. But no, Joey, I'm excited for the feature. Here we go.
Yeah, gonna be counting down here soon enough. Keep your eye on every single one of these cars. I'm astounded by the amount of professional drivers, professional sim racers that have shown up to take place here in the Roush Rallycross event. And I think, honestly, Trevor, before we get going green flag racing, it's about to click down. Keep an eye on that white and green number 21. That's Colin Weatherholt. He really is the only non-pro he does this for fun out here on the sim. So he's really taken it to these top level drivers as we get a green flag here on the Roush Rallycross event. Looks like it's a really nice jump from the outside row there. Colin Weatherholt has some contact in the number 12. Heavy contact as he gets spun around. We got problems in turn 1.
There is yep, Joey's fault is absolutely right. Joey, just turn off, hang it up, put the headphones away. I think Colin's going to absolutely come after you on this one, but there's the chaos that we're talking about. Like we said, as pro as you can get, it's just going to be tough to get to that corner. But who got through that corner? We got McConey, King, the 11, Ralphus, Fox, Edmondson, Papa, all were able to hang on here, but hey, still a lot of racing.
Yeah, look at Josh Fox give the bumper to Jacob Raffis as he comes out of one of the final turns. Right on board with Christy King right now as she comes to complete her first lap. See exactly where everybody is. Connor Parisi looks to be out front in our lead. Jacob Raffis in that second place position. Josh Fox in third with Josh Edmondson in the 4th place.
You know, and looking over back, Connor Berry, 9th place. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. This is where I feel like Connor can put on those blinders and work his way up all the way to the front. I'm not worried at all. Pulling for Connor here. Look, he's rocking the same livery as his actual race truck. Pretty cool. But just watch Connor. He's dialed in. You're going to see him pick off one by one. So I'm not ending the night early for Connor.
Well, and unfortunately, if we get some other shots of Connor's car, it is extremely banged up right now. So he's back in the 9th place position. He voiced to me earlier that he was just trying to hope for a good result here in the Rallycross stuff. Connor's specialty is really those off-road trucks that we usually see. But I want to jump back up to the battle for the 3rd place position because Josh Edmondson is all over the back of Jacob Raffis as he sneaks to the inside, takes away that 3rd place.
Man, yeah, the Jacob Josh show right here. These guys are absolutely putting on a show right now. And maybe there's going to be an advantage being that Josh has these crazy looking VR goggles on. He can see all around him. I don't know if Josh has the same technology here.
Well, you know, he does. That Pimax crystal is pretty awesome. And, he's going to have to deal with some traffic coming up here in the matter of the next corners. Peachy Campos is parked on the racing line. He's got some heavy damage, as well as Jeff McConey not knowing what's going on. Not really sure what happened to the 03 there, but it looks like Josh Edmondson got pushed out of the way. Jacob Raffis taking advantage, and it was ultimately Josh Fox that snuck through the Joker and actually might have picked up track position.
Man, Peachy must have had some very serious things going on with his car. Just as you said, he was absolutely parked in the center of the track, which made for a super tough situation for those drivers coming around him.
And this is Josh Fox chasing down Jacob Raffis right now for what is the 3rd place position on the racetrack. It is still Connor Parisi out front. I think Josh Edmondson actually had to hit the tow button, so unfortunate for one of the fastest drivers. Trevor, that was the driver that we were riding on board with the VR, and unfortunately has hit the retirement button.
That is a tough break for him. He was crazy quick.
And this is actually another Pimax Crystal headset here, Trevor. This is the same headset that Josh Edmondson was running. This is our current leader, Connor Parisi, and about time we look up at the lead. He's 4.5 seconds up the road and only about 2.5 laps remaining. Trevor, these races click off so fast.
They absolutely do. And as fast as you can bring yourself to the front, and a potential podium is just as fast as you can go back. And as we saw Crystal King, she was running a hard 3rd position and has fallen back to 9th. I'm not sure what got her there, but yeah, super tough break. But here we see Connor Berry, as we were talking about, picking off position by position. But hey, here's Keenan. I don't know. I think we should talk to Keenan. Is anyone around him? Just to get in his ear, just because that technology is crazy cool.
We're going to keep it right here since we're under 2 laps remaining, and actually just want to highlight one quick battle before we go to the white flag. Chris Papa Fox all over the back of Colin Weatherholt. And I actually think it's Colin Weatherholt that has made his way back through the field, because remember, Colin had that huge wreck on turn 1, lap 1 on the standing start. So props to that white and green number 21. Never give up attitude, trying to fight his way all the way back up to the front. But we are on our final lap here. Connor Parisi, our leader, rounding into the dirt one final time, Trevor.
Man, I'm curious the pressure that you feel at this point. I know obviously he's locked down, turning lap after lap, saying lock this down.
As he comes out through the final turn, the number 11 driver, Connor Parisi, claims the checkered flag, your Roush Rallycross winner. And Nitro Circus Esports driver taking that checkered flag, Josh Fox, will finish in second place, a Williams Esports driver, as Colin Weatherholt slides across the line just behind Chris Papa. I mean, talk about an exciting finish, only a 1/10 of a second separating that. And here's your driver, Trevor. Unfortunately, Connor Berry's going to have to settle for 8th. Better days he's seen on the racetrack.
Absolutely. But hey, any race here at America's home for racing, Concord, North Carolina, I don't care. It's just like that saying about fishing. You're still fishing. You're still racing. So shout out to all these guys for an absolute solid race. Super cool to watch these guys absolutely throw it down. And I'm already excited for the next one.
These are the official results. Connor Parisi, your winner. Really, pros dominated the top 3 positions. Josh Fox, your Williams Esports driver, coming home in second place. Jacob Raffis, another Nitro Circus Esports driver, finishing 3rd on the podium. Chris Papa, your first pretty much independent driver, finishing 4th. Colin Weatherholt, another one, finishing in the 5th place position. Keenan Cusin, actually a really good run, in 6th place. Paul Slavonic, I know he will be incredibly pumped with that 7th place finish. Unfortunately, Connor Berry has seen better days, finishing in 8th. Crystal King in 9th. Jeff McConey will finish in 10th place, and 2 more that did race here with us. Josh Edmondson unfortunately had to hit the tow button, as well as Peachy Campos out on the racetrack. And Trevor, what we're going to do is take a quick break, be right back with some post-race interviews, so make sure you stick around and get a listen to some of these characters that are coming up.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
When I'm not racing, gardening gives me a chance to reflect and get some much needed peace and quiet. My plants remind me to be patient and that sometimes going slow is okay. But outside the greenhouse, fast is more fun. For me, General Tire delivers.
Welcome back to Roush Performance Esports. You just watched the Roush Rallycross event, our first Rallycross event here on the channel, and we have some delicious post-race interviews. Starting off with our winner, we're going to bring Connor Parisi here into the booth. Connor, congratulations on the win, the checkered flag, the Roush Rallycross champion.
Thanks, fellas. It's a ton of fun. Thanks for having the race.
Now, it seemed pretty straightforward for you for both the heats and also the feature. Once you got out front, you kind of ran away from it. Was that your plan all along?
Yeah, I certainly wanted to get away from all the carnage, but I don't know if you guys mentioned during the broadcast, but there was a huge change to the dirt, like literally right before this race. So we were all just learning it in the practice right up before this race. So it was more or less just surviving, trying to keep it between the walls. Worked out pretty good for us in the 11.
You know, we actually didn't touch on it too much during the show, but why don't you kind of explain to it kind of what happened since you just won? You've got a ton of dirt experience, and what was the primary change between yesterday and today, and why has it thrown the drivers for a loop?
That's a good question. It seems to be a fairly, it's almost like it's on a spectrum. As the track wears, it gets even more different than what we're used to with the grip levels on the dirt. So what we found in practice was just driving it like it's tarmac was the key. So I'm a big fan of the TCR and Clio, so I just leaned on that experience, and I think that's what got me here.
Well, that definitely can work out. We did see a lot of understeer, so yeah, you definitely had to drive it like a road race car. And I know that you've participated in one of the off-road series in the past, and I know you're big time in the dirt. Talk to me a little bit about that Pimax headset. Does it help you out here, and was it one of the reasons you were able to win?
This Pimax headset was definitely one of the reasons I won. Being able to look into the apexes, especially on these loose surfaces where you got some yaw in the car and you're looking out the side windows just as much as the front window. VR is absolutely integral for that. So big thanks to Pimax for hooking me up with this, and definitely recommend to all the other dirt racers.
Man, congratulations on the checkered flag here, Connor. Before I let you go, is there anybody you wanted to give a shout out to?
I got to thank all the guys at Nitro Circus, Apex Gaming PCs, Next Level Racing, and my friends at Pimax as well. And then you guys as well for putting on the race. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that was Connor Parisi claiming the checkered flag here, your winner at the Roush Rallycross. And we're actually going to bring in the second place finisher. Trevor Wright has walked down to meet up with Josh Fox.
Josh Fox, what's going on? Go and walk us through this last lap, or this last feature here on kind of where your mindset was. Did you have a game plan going into it? And if so, anything change?
I'll be honest, I don't even know what to say or think, because we all got thrown this curveball of the dirt being kind of glitched right before the race. We all just figured it out, and we're all slammed in here with the same level of experience. So obviously it made things really interesting, but no, my game plan was to try not to cause trouble. Mainly, we don't really know the limits too well, obviously, with missing the lines quite often, and just a totally new experience for us traditional rallycross guys. So mainly just try not to cause any trouble, keep it a relatively good show for everybody.
Right on. Well, it definitely looks like you got it figured out with a podium position here on second place. But one thing, I'm looking at these different drivers with all these various different setups, whether it's VR, 3-screen. What setup do you have, and would you contribute any of the things that you utilize to your win?
I do triple screens from BenQ. Really quality screens I've had for coming up on 4 years. I've been using the same ones, really good. And I mean, I've done VR and it's pretty cool. But I like the three screen experience enough that I wouldn't be motivated to look elsewhere or change until maybe the VR gets a little better integrated or a little higher performing maybe. But now the BenQ screens that I use pretty much for any competition, if it's Rallycross or anything else. Always super happy with, and yeah, wouldn't think to change.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us on the Roush Esports channel. Is there anyone you want to thank before you go?
Yeah, for sure. Really appreciate you guys for putting on this event. Kind of a wild card event tonight, but hopefully this won't be the last one for you guys. So I just wanted to say thanks for the invite. And of course, shout out Williams Esports, all the great partners we have over there. Duracell, Heisingfeld, Gulf Oil, Recaro Automotive, Chill Blast, BenQ, Fanatec, Playseat, Razer. I think that's everybody. So yeah, thanks
Right
again.
on.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. And thanks for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep, thanks.
And that was Josh Fox, your second place finisher. And now we have our third place on the podium. Jacob Raffis is joining us. Jacob, how was the racing action for you tonight? I know the dirt was a little bit different, but how was the racing?
Racing was pretty good, I guess. I had a few battles going on with Josh Fox and Josh Edmondson, which we got caught up in some traffic there. Which unfortunate for Josh Edmondson, but yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, we definitely caught that on the broadcast. You're right. Unfortunate for Josh, but you were able to sneak your way through. And this is a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to those drivers. You have pros such as yourself and Josh, and we also had some drivers with lesser experience on these rally cars. What is it like to deal with that, knowing they're going to be a variable on the track?
I mean, it's alright, but like sometimes you're like mid racing line, and like maybe like if you're like a back marker, you should maybe give some place to the guys like coming a lap ahead, you know, and give us some space or something like that, or weave, or yeah.
I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, actually, Jacob. And I know it's really late over there where you're at. You show a ton of dedication to these off-road shows and this off-road racing. Before I let you go, is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to or say hi to?
Yeah, Sim Magic, Next Level Racing, Nitro Circus, Sim Racing Team, and yeah, that's it.
Well, that was Jacob Raffis, driver of the number 13, still spraying some podium here at the end of this one. And it looks like we're going to bring in one more interview here because he is such a character. We brought him in earlier, mid-race. Keenan Cusin, how's it going?
I mean, we lived, I guess. That was a rough start for a lot of people. I went back and watched it. It's just Rallycross things, people pinch in and trying to gain any advantage, and just we were one of the unlucky ones. But and then it didn't help that I spun on all on my own for P0. But yeah, man, I just wanted to make the feature today, so that's a win for me.
Well, you definitely made the feature. So, and you finished 6th in the feature, which ain't too bad either. Placed ahead of plenty of the pros. We talked about the dirt being a little bit different, a kind of a curveball for everybody tonight. What did you think of it, and do you think it affected the racing in a positive or negative way?
I mean, I probably put on a better show. I feel like it really closed the gap for some of us who do a little bit of dirt road, but maybe aren't super familiar with the Rallycross car. Because whatever setup work and whatever practice they had put in just didn't mean anything. The dirt surface, I don't know if it looked this way on the stream, but it is totally different out there to what we're used to, even with like the dirt road dirt. So it was curveball for all of us. I just drove it like a touring car. That's probably why you saw Colin Weatherholt do so well today too. Like if you were sliding, you were burning time. So I just put a lot of rear brake in it and tried to stay smooth. And I gave Rafas a little bit of heck there for a bit, but he decided he was just goofing. And then the last time I was like, okay, I'm going to show you what real speed looks like, and pulled away from me. But yeah, it was definitely not super ideal conditions for those of us who have are used to it, but I think it ended up putting on a decent show at the end of the day.
You hit the nail on the head. Everything you said, I couldn't agree with more. And before I let you go, I know you do a ton of streaming, not just iRacing, but a ton of different stuff. I saw you playing F-Zero the other day. Why don't you tell everybody watching where they can find you and how to follow you?
My name is Aerotech on whatever platform suits your fancy. I'm a mostly live. I'm live on Twitch right now, actually. We do a little bit of everything. It's all racing game and racing related. So if you're into iRacing, we do a lot of dirt stuff. We got a lot of stuff coming up. You're right. I've been absolutely addicted to F-099. I can't put the game down. We're playing Burnout Paradise right now. So if you like cars, it's a pretty cool place to hang out with some pretty cool people in it. So I would appreciate to see your face. If not, thanks for supporting Roush and Roush Esports, because this is a pretty cool event to be invited to.
Well, Keenan, thank you for coming out here and participating with us.
Anytime.
We will see you next time. Keenan Cusin finished in the 6th place position tonight. And before I let everybody go, I want to bring Trevor Wright back in here. The first time we had Rallycross on the channel. What did you think of it?
Man, I didn't completely know what to expect, so I've been able to get behind the wheel of the Rallycross cars on iRacing and drive, and I've always had a great time with it. But to be able to watch professionals do it and these guys that spend time on this, I think it just takes it up a whole nother notch. And be able to see the blended variety of different people, men, women, I just think that's super cool. So I'm super pumped to jump on there. And no, I enjoyed every second of it. I'm ready to, just like I think it was Connor that mentioned, hope it's not the last one. I don't think it's going to be the last one. This was too good of a show.
No, it is way too good of a show, and I was about to do it, so I might as well here. Thanks to General Tire for all of their support, as well as Skip Barber Racing School and the entire team behind the scenes today. Trevor, Jack, and Ryan, follow along the Roush Performance Esports Facebook and Discord pages to stay up to date with all of our future events, and go sign up for the World Tour 2.0. We didn't mention it, but follow that Discord page. It'll be out this week. That's going to do it here tonight for us on the Roush Performance Esports channel. Have a great evening, and as always, we'll see you at the checkered flag.